Hello everyone. We're here to cast another game of King of Sahara. With me is Kron today.
Hey guys, how are we all? It's great to be back in the casting chair again to do a bit of a guest cast for this tournament. Wow, it's been a while since Nomadium, and yeah, a couple of show matches we did after that. But yeah, can't wait to cast some standard games. And full disclaimer, I'm going to be relying on you, Jatin,
hmm
to lead me in the right direction because by no means my standard experience pales in comparison to yours and to pro lasers. But I look forward to giving it a stab and obviously trying to get my knowledge up as quickly as possible.
Well, yes, I'll try my best. I had to pay double the amount to Kron for this cast. He's become expensive, getting a lot of offers after Nomadium.
Look, yeah, I've had to turn down quite a few people. Even Donald Trump himself approached me to see if I could, run his campaign. But look, had to turn it down. As some people might know, just recently had a baby, so makes my time a little bit more expensive.
Oh yeah.
But uh, but yeah, Jatin came to me with an offer that I just couldn't refuse. So.
So let's see how the groups have been doing so far. Anybody who's not been following or is following anyway, Group 5, this is Group 5's last game, GAD versus PLA2. Both of the teams have lost one game and have won one game, which means this is their last chance at getting in Super 16. Whoever loses this game is out of the tournament. While I would like both of these teams to be in tournament, GAD being an old school Rise of Nation clan, and PLA2 have won everybody's heart with that sudden improvement by Old Cat. I wish both of these could qualify, but sadly only one of them could, and I am excited to see who's going to be the one.
Oh, seriously, I mean, it was absolutely insane. You see the turnaround between, Old Cat in that first match. He looked like, the typical guy who's just been pulled off the street to sit in the chair and play a game. He really didn't have any coherent strategy. Whereas that was just such an epic match that they played against AZ. Wow, I've never seen something like it before. But yeah, it was painful to watch as a fellow AZ clan member. But yeah, old Cat was playing absolutely amazing. I'm thinking he's not an old cat anymore. He's a young lion, so it might be PLA Young Lion from now on.
Yep.
Um,
Name
so
change petition has been signed.
we'll start a petition. We'll see what people think. But no, he's been absolutely impressive. And on the other side of it, Nor has always been, he seems like he's the solid PLA player. So I've never really had any question marks about Nor. He's always seemed like he's really solid. And that goes back to their game in Nomadium back, a couple of months ago.
Oh yeah, so these guys were completely different in Nomadium. At the time of Nomadium, I remember Old Cat had just one city when everybody was in H3. That was epic. Nobody was expecting that, and Nor played fine. I wouldn't say he was that good, but after watching him play standard, especially against LAT Team 1, where the PLA2 team even won a game against LAT, who did not lose any games after that, well, that was commendable. And I think Nor and Old Cat have come a long way throughout this journey, and they also deserve to be in the Super 16. It's just too difficult to decide at this point.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, GAD, obviously, GAD is GAD. I'm relatively new to the Rise of Nations scene since like 3 years ago, but even I knew that GAD was an old clan with really good players, the best two players, I think, from Croatia. So, yeah, it's another classic clash of, Europe versus China here as
hmm
far as the different styles go. And yeah, it's going to be great. And I think a really close match to see what's going to happen. I mean, you'd think the classic prediction here would be, GAD, they've got that old school mentality and
hmm
probably more experience in standard, but you can't count out Old Cat after what happened last time.
That's right.
So
That's right. So.
if you
Mhm.
if you think he improved that much in 1 week, and he's now had another week to train, and the
Whoa.
rumors are that he was sitting in that room training every single day for 12-hour shifts, and get fed rice, and then he'd train more, and then he'd get fed more rice,
More
and he'd
rice.
just be
Yes.
training. That's his fuel. So it's actually he's old cat. Maybe it's salmon. Maybe it's milk. I'm not sure. Well, I'm
hmm
not sure what an old cat would drink. But It's going to be cool. So I can't wait to get into it. And have we already covered off the polls? Sorry.
No, we are going to do that. So that was the player introduction with a dash of racism. We go directly into the polls. Gad is the one leading actually. The popular opinion is that they're going to win this, win the best of three and get into the Super 16. Let's find out. Are you ready for the game?
Absolutely, I'm ready when you are. So yeah, let's get straight into it.
All right, guys, here we start. 3, 2, 1, let's go. So here we are in the first game. Slorex and Mark on this side. Romans and Spanish against British and Korea. I have to say these are typical combinations that are actually fun to watch. Romans versus British. While Romans are great for rushing, but it's like British are their sworn nemesis, thanks to the archers that the British possess. On the other side, I consider Spanish and Korea both a slightly trashy civilization. Kron, if you had to pick one of these, who would you pick? Korea or Spanish?
Look, if I had to pick the two in standard format, I'd probably go with Spanish. But a big part of that would be I'd be backing my ability to get plenty of, rare ruins, pick up plenty of ruins in the early game and try and get that really nice fast eco with the two scouts.
Mm-hmm.
But having said that, I mean, yeah, they're relatively even. I feel like Spain's advantages kind of stop after that first couple of minutes of the game, and from that point forward, it's really just you've got really nothing much else happening for you. So their rare units are okay. But I'd take Korea from the middle of the game onwards. It's really going to come down to how many ruins the Spanish player can pick up here.
Well, yeah, that's right. That's actually contrary to the popular belief. I think most of the players would like to have Korea, including myself, just because those militia are amazing. The cheaper towers and the repair ability. I love those things. But on the other side, Romans and British. Which one would be your pick?
Look, I'm probably going to go with my personal experience. I go with British here.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like British is better for a. Oh, look, they're fairly even. They kind of balance each other out quite well. I mean, the gold income obviously from Rome is great and it's brilliant to have, and armor, getting you cheap armor as well. But look, overall, I just say from personal experience, I've played twice in this tournament myself. When I was Romans, I got my ass kicked, and when I was British, I managed to win. So. But I mean, in all honesty, I think British, just the economic advantage of the commerce cap, the longbowmen,
Mm-hmm.
the cheap taxation, that just gives it the edge for me.
Well, yeah, Romans are great in the early game, but British with that commerce cap, they just blow any other nation away with that excess economy. I see everybody's doing fine so far. Nothing very special. Talking about the rares, in Marco's territory, he's got spice and sugar bison, cotton here as well. I like these rares. Nothing too strong except sugar. I would hope that Marco towers this. Compared to some really nice rares on the other side. We got Old Cat here with furs, relics, dye and salt. Man, these are amazing rares to have in your vicinity, especially for the Korean player, because Koreans can tower. They can put as many towers as they want without suffering to heavy inflation. And horses on this side as well, man. Really, and diamonds in the bag. These are hack rares.
I mean, they are, right? I mean, look at these rares. I mean, it looks like Gad had some pretty decent ones, and then suddenly, really the highlight for them is sugar, whereas the highlight for the other guys is really, furs, relics, both awesome. Salt is arguably controllable in the middle of their bases there. Silver and diamonds, wow, it's like a smorgasbord of rares there, and I must admit that's got to keep these PLA guys pretty happy.
Yeah.
Because I think you probably make an argument that it's hard to predict where these two teams are at, but I'd say Gad, from a classic standpoint, have probably got a slight edge in their experience, and therefore the rares being in PLA's favor is probably going to balance that out and make it exactly dead even.
Well, yeah, that's very much possible, because I see citrus here, tobacco in the corner. For Slorex, the only two rares worth going for are gems and amber here. And you see Salt, Bison, they're too far away. In fact, I don't even think that Slorex will be going for Bison, because you see it's in the corner and it's just providing you food. When you're playing standard, you don't want to have a lot of caravan merchants made, because in standard the raids are very frequent. So if you want to go for something like Bison that is in the corner and very likely to be raided, you would rather avoid it. But let's see what Slorex does.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, just looking at the way this game's gone so far, a really, really fast age there by Marco. He was able to get Science 2 really quickly, and depending on what order he got that in, that probably resulted in him getting a lot more resources from the rares. So let's just quickly check who's coming out ahead here, based on what we talked about earlier. So we've got Marco with 522 from Ruins. So so far, look, obviously a great start for Gad. They've got 500 each, and that's well and truly way above what POA have at this early game.
Oh yeah, that is and both of them got nice rares. In fact, I have to say Slorex did a better job than Marco, because Slorex is the one with a single scout and he still managed to get just as many ruins as the guy with 2 scouts.
Yeah, excellent scouting there by Slorex for sure. That's pretty hard to stay pretty close and almost get the same number as Spain with half the number of scouts.
And I see almost everybody except Old Cat is going for the stables and cavalry raids. Nor here has this military 2. Slorex also has military 2, and Science 2 as well. He is making cavalry. Same thing for Marco here, but on the other side, Old Cat seems to be going for an infantry raid and defense. I see a tower being put up near Seoul. That's looking good. There's an exchange between the Marco and Old Cat. That was unlucky. That was horribly unlucky to lose your heavy infantry like that.
Yeah, that was just walk straight into him, really. And it's interesting. I mean, I'm just curious, in your opinion, if a horse archer versus a heavy infantry. I know obviously horse archers are good against heavy infantry, but do you find that if they just attack moved into each other, who would win?
So if the heavy infantry is close enough, then the heavy infantry will win. In order for the horse archer guy to win, he has to keep his distance and keep firing.
Yeah, that's what I thought, and it seemed like that was why. It looks like Old Cat was a bit unlucky there. He basically walked straight past the horse archer, didn't have a chance to actually attack him.
Yeah, I feel bad for that infantry, because it probably has families back home, and they're thinking that the soldier is going to fight for the nation, do some real damage to the enemy. But they would be sad if they find out that he just died without even reaching the enemy.
Oh man, yeah, he was just wandering off into the wilderness, and then suddenly he took an arrow to the knee and died on the spot. So,
oh yeah.
And really good raid here by Marco, like effective raid. He's just killed, the furs at the bottom. His horse archer's killing the salt as well. It's not that Old Cat did anything too badly. I just feel like, Marco was using that quick start that he's had to, get his units out quicker and basically catch Old Cat napping there.
Oh yeah, that's right. And 2 rares, that's a lot, right? Because Old Cat probably lost about 30 wood and 10 wealth, and that's twice. And in fact, Mars Nor also lost his merchant, so that was a great exchange for Marco. He has been able to do a lot of damage, and so far I don't see Marco losing anything.
Yeah, I mean, Marco's in a good spot. He's got his theme.
And Nor went for Senator. That not something I was expecting here, because with British, you already have so much commerce gap. So the only reason anybody would go for Senator initially is for the healing, and I feel the Despot almost always trumps that ability. Because if you have Despot, you can spam these archers way better, and that's what you want to do with British, spam archers. That's why they live for.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think there's definitely a question between the two when it comes to a nomad format, but in standard, yeah, it's just really, it's almost impossible to be bottlenecked by commerce cap here in this stage of the game, so.
A very important exchange taking place here, and Slorex can put nor would really behind. Like he can leave him behind by a big margin if he can stop this city, because not only does that mean reduce more idle time for Mars, but he's also losing army, and he's forced to take this exchange in an unfavorable setting just because of the city. So eventually, yeah, he has to delete his city. That is going to be bad for Mars in the long game.
Yeah, no, that's really definitely setting Mars back heaps in this game. I mean, at the same time, Slowrex got his third city up in the middle. They've got the perfect map positioning too with the Gad guys. They can reinforce each other from the center. They could double someone and, castle up the other side of it. So they're, at the moment, Gad are looking really, really strong so far, despite the fact that they started out with, arguably a less favorable set of rares.
Oh, yeah. And Gary is doing pretty good. I must say their game has completely changed. They must have been training, and I like the fact that they have been training, because hearing about PLA's return, it does strike fear.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, everyone that watched the rise of Old Cat definitely has reason to be scared of him. I mean, this is a guy that. Did he get to, correct me if I'm wrong, he got to Modern Age, didn't he? And,
no, he got those stealth bombers, man. He got to Information Age, he got everything possible. Like, if the game had gone for another 5 or 6 minutes, he would have all the researches possible in the game.
Honestly, as a casual watcher, like, I was just watching that as purely a spectator. That was probably the most entertaining match I've ever seen as far as a 2v1. You've got one guy that's pretty much dead, and then Old Cat is just like 1v2ing the entire match with stealth bombers going left, right, and center.
Oh yeah, that was right. That was actually the game. In the chat, we've got Wally and Serge. Hey guys, welcome to the chat. I like what Marco is doing as well. So these guys, both Slowrex and Marco, it looks like either they had it planned already, or they just thought that these nations are perfect for it, because both of them are literally doing the same thing. Heavy infantry and cavalry combos. That is a very good combo to fight against a horde of archers and senator, because the senator is going to try to bribe you, but if you have heavy cavalry and heavy infantry, they can chop down, they can assassinate that senator in 2 or 3 hits. So I usually don't even try to bribe these kind of units.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, the thing with Gad too is that I know the Gad guys, they love to go Despot, like pretty much under any scenario, but they've both gone Despot here as well. Whereas I think normally Marco is the one that it's, 100% off the table who'll ever go Senator. Whereas I think Slowrex goes a bit of both, and they've both gone Despot here. So I like that move. I mean, it's good to be in sync with what your ally is doing, because, if one goes Despot and one's booming too hard, well, you can't really get that pure synergy. Whereas if they're both Despot and they both build big armies in the middle, I feel like that would be the ultimate play here. It's just, castle around the outside, and then bring your armies to the center, and then just double someone from whoever you want, really, and just kill them.
Well, that is right. I see Old Cat just lost a senator. That was bad. He still got a nice eco. I wouldn't say he's suffering a lot. He has definitely taken a lot of damage, but nothing too serious for now. But it seems Mars, Nor is in a worse condition because of that third city denial. He still does not have the third caravan, while Slowrex is doing pretty good. Being Romans and 3 caravans, he's going to be reaching that 150 wealth income very soon. I also see he's trying to separate the PLA team with that castle. Really nice strategy there.
Yeah, brilliant place, that castle, and you can see that that's just going to push the borders out so far. They're probably going to get control of that salt as well. Like if he gets the Romans to get the free upgrade, right? So that's going to push out well and truly. And attrition's probably going to take that. I mean, those guys can probably send merchants and take that salt as well. So
that's right.
And it does take that salt.
Take the salt. So now they can even think about getting attrition. Just attrition enough alone will get those merchants out. So even if they can't use it, at least PLA won't use it either.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I guess it's pretty. It's standing out quite a lot at the moment. You can see that Mars is a bit behind in his tech. He hasn't got his age 3 yet. whereas it feels like the other guys have been there for quite some time. So yeah, you could bribe that barracks at the front of Mars's second city.
Oh yeah.
If he had a spy.
No, I don't think he can make a spy, but he won't. He's not planning to for now. I like what Slorex is doing. He's just taking it slowly, continuously raiding Mars, and meanwhile doing his boom in the back. He's going to be age 4 very soon, and the way I see it, actually, Marco is ready for aging. PLA Old Cat has got a lot of resources in his inventory. He has been able to defend the raid, but sadly, Old Cat hasn't been doing a lot of raids himself. So while he thinks that Marco is doing is raid, but actually Marco is also preparing for an age 4 attack.
Yeah, it really does seem like, if you just analyze this game from the beginning, firstly, Marco had those really good ruins, and Gad had really good ruins, gave them the momentum, and getting that horse archer to kill that heavy infantry, it basically took all the momentum away from PLA. And from that point forward, I just feel like PLA has kind of been a little bit on the defensive, and they're just a little bit like 1 or 2 steps behind Gad at every junction. Like their economy is just a little bit lower, haven't quite got the food income that they want, but they still have a decent foothold. But I feel like Gad is starting to kind of, put their foot down on the throat of PLA here a bit, and really apply a lot of pressure in every sense of the word.
Oh yeah, every sense of the word. Old Cat's finished his science and military ready for the gunpowder age research, but he's not going to be aging before Marco. Marco is already there. Marco has got an astonishing knowledge income, 150, versus both the PLA players combined, they don't reach 150 even together. Slorex has got 110, which is great. So this actually tells you the power of Despot. People usually see Despot as a complete rushing type government that you cannot boom with Despot. But actually, if you are raiding constantly, then you use that plunder bonus for making scholars, you can have a better boom than the senator player.
Yeah, I agree, and I think in some ways as well, in a way, it kind of helps with your discipline too, because it's not that hard to boom up to 150 for all your raz. And once you hit that point, that you can't, have to worry about farms. You can just focus on raiding, focus on, your overall strategy. And in a way, it sometimes means you play with a bit more discipline as well.
Oh yeah, that is right. I feel like, I always thought of Nor as the better PLA player, but in this game, it looks like Nor is not doing too good here. He's nowhere near gunpowder, while Slorex is definitely going to be in gunpowder in no time.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, if we look back and think, okay, was that third city was probably a bit of a turning point for Nor, setting him quite a bit back. Is there any advice that you could give to Nor that might have prevented that from occurring?
Oh, the only thing you can do to prevent such a thing from happening is have your army in the place where you're building city before you send your villagers.
Yeah,
that's the only thing I could advise. And another thing is he should have scouted the that front before building the city. Because right when he started building the city, Slorex was there with his army, so it was very easy for Slorex to even reinforce when he found out. By the way, what PLA Old Cat is doing is the right thing you should be doing when you are age behind and your opponent could be attacking you. When he saw Marco age, he quickly went on a raiding frenzy there, blocked that caravan route for some time. So this did push back Marco. Marco has some siege in his siege factory, but he could not attack because first it's time for saving yourself, then to attack. So that bought a lot of time for Old Cat. I'm greatly surprised how much he has improved.
Oh my god! And I'll just bring your attention for a moment to the castle on the right hand side. So I was just watching then. Slorex tried to build a castle, but then actually Old Cat bribed that tower, and that's now stopping the castle from completing.
Oh man, so that is so bad. You know how Slorex can take that tower back?
Yeah, Oh, how can you do it?
So
What's this?
Romans luckily get all the castle upgrades for free, and the next castle upgrade is due on in military 4. So if he goes for military 4, this upgrade
Oh,
called
he's
bombardment, it will be
yep.
automatically done. This border will push further, and he can send a spy to take that keep.
Yeah, okay. So he's just got military 3, but now he's going to gunpowder. So it looks like it'll be a little while away. Probably won't get that castle up anymore. He might need to cancel that. But it's
Oh yeah, he will have to. Oh man, that was such a sly move by Old Cat. I don't even know if he knew about. Did he know about the castle, or he was just going to bribe that anyway?
He was probably going to bribe it anyway, just because it's guarding that salt. But yeah, it just worked out really well. Who knows? We'll have to get an interview with Old Cat at some point.
Yeah.
And ask for the wisdom of Old Cat. Yeah. Cool.
Oh yeah, and actually, Old Cat has had a nice recovery. I don't think he is at a particular disadvantage anymore. Marco, while he did really well, Old Cat is almost back in the game. He is the way I see his library, he is planning for H5 attack.
Yeah, he went science 4 before gunpowder by the looks of it.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, he's actually slightly ahead as far as tech goes, which is surprising given that the way this game's played out. But you know, Old Cat is definitely doing something right. He's got a huge knowledge income, 174 coming in. He's got Marco beaten in that respect, and Marco was booming hard on his scholars. So I guess that's somewhat the power of relics, but also just the power of disciplined, training. You know, 12-hour days for a week in a row. It's definitely starting to show off now.
Hey Ruben, Ruben is Buzz. Buzz, it's Kron, AZ Kron, casting with me today.
Hey Ruben, welcome to the stream, mate. And yeah, I'm basically stepping in here to cover while ProWays is away. But yeah.
Hey Kron, can you move your camera a little below? Alright, that's fine. Because at one point I could just see your forehead. Yeah, that's fine.
Oh yeah, no problem. Hey, just so you know, I think the webcam's working on the stream? Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, no worries. Sorry about that. I was a little bit low.
No, he is Kron, not Sermon. I've actually never seen Sermon on camera. Maybe when he casts a game with us, we'll get him on camera.
Yeah, just let me know if you can see me okay now. But yeah, back in the game. All right, so.
Yeah, so far, dude, Old Cat has actually overtaken Marco in terms of knowledge income.
Yeah, 230 now versus.
No, not kidding, man. Old Cat looks like a completely different player. He is playing way better than how he did last time. He is going to be aging not sooner than Marco, because Marco had that higher knowledge income from way before Old Cat, so it's the cumulative effect is still in the favor of Marco. But Old Cat won't be far behind, and he has got a nice army. He is putting 2 towers, and Koreans in H5, well, they just get that boost because of the free Minutemen upgrade.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, yeah, once he hits H5, that's definitely going to help. I'm just thinking from Old Cat's point of view, you know, this is probably the theme song of the last week for him. I mean, I don't know if you can hear this or not.
Oh yeah, Eye of the Tiger.
I'm thinking Eye of the Tiger. I mean, Old Cat has definitely been training, and it's starting to show off. But I mean, at the same time, you know, Slowrex is starting to put a lot of pressure on Nor. Let's just have a quick look to see how the parity is between these two guys.
Oh yeah, dude, that's a strong army from Slowrex, and he is going to be aging as well. On the other side, while I like what Old Cat is doing, Old Cat is still not up to the mark. He does not have a scout here, while 2 spies for Marco. Those 2 spies can bribe 2 units without any resistance.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's going to be one of those cases where he might get caught off guard there with the spies and panic. In a panic, he'll try and build, 10 scouts at the same time and use up all of his gold and metal income. Let's hope he does get one in advance though.
Oh yeah, look at that massacre, that Longbowman massacre.
Oh my god, yeah,
That was bad. Now Nor is not going to survive this. Man, Nor is. I felt like Nor played much better in earlier game. It's like he transferred his skills to Old Cat. Maybe China has a technology for that. We just don't know. It's China.
That's true. There's a lot of wonderful and amazing things about China that happens beyond the Great Wall of China. So who knows what's going on there? But it does look like Slowrex has definitely been gunning for Exeter, and it looks like that's been captured now.
That is gone. And at this point, Slowrex being in H5, yep, no hope for Nor.
No, that's pretty economically important to that city. It's got all of his production buildings. That is a massive blow, and yeah, I mean, he's going to need Old Cat to somehow, 1v2 these guys for the rest of the game. Who knows? Are we going to see a repeat, do you think? Is Old Cat going all the way to Modern Age here?
Modern Age? Oh no, dude. His ego is down. He's barely at 150, barely at 150. Old Cat has these random units in the corner of the map. No idea what he's trying to do there.
Yeah, I guess perhaps he's raiding. I'm not sure, but yeah, he's gonna need to pull something out here. He has got, he is Enlightenment Age as well, so he's on parity here with Marco. But yeah, you just look at Marco's economy. He's definitely got him beaten, and those farms aren't being used at the moment. So this is looking like this is just the final moments for a GAD victory.
That's right. You see something funny whenever there is a bribe. Not only the units change color, of course they change color because they change teams, but if they are like, let's say the European Musketeers look different from the Asian Musketeers, right? They also change attire.
Oh really?
Because imagine you're being bribed in the middle of the battle and you change your clothes. You're like, I'm gonna remove my shirt and put on a new one. And
I guess they are.
And the European guys are just like flinging these shirts and like so that the others can change it if they're getting bribed. It's so funny, man. I feel they should have at least let the bribed unit keep the same attire. It would have looked more genuine.
Oh man, I know. I think like in Rise of Nations, not everything is perfectly historically accurate, but everything's quite realistic. It would be nice if they had little wardrobes that came up in the game, and then it shows the guy getting in the wardrobe, getting changed, and then coming out in his new.
Yeah, because screw battle attire is important. It's all about fashion.
Yeah, who cares about the strategy and being an RTS and so on? It's all about realism here. But no, that was quite a cool match. What did you think?
I mean,
if you had to break it down into 2 moments in that game that swung it in Gad's favor, what would you say they would have been?
Oh, the first one so the Nor lost the game when that city was stopped for sure. And for Old Cat, I feel Old Cat was doing fine, but as I said, Old Cat never raided his opponent. And what is that president doing? Come on, nobody should be taking precedent. I like that GAD guys actually learned from their mistake. A lot of viewers and me and Prolace criticized the GAD last game for their precedent government. Even though they won that game, but the president was not a good choice. And this time, both of them went for monarchy, and you can see the results. It's much better to have monarchy if you are going into huge battles than president. Maybe Old Cat went for president because he wanted to produce units faster. That does make sense, but those units, especially the cavalry, they're not as strong as the monarchy cavalry.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I think I must admit, it's something that I don't really think about too much because I've never gone democracy ever. But if you look at democracy, it says, keep your government's power and non-library technology is 20% cheaper. So, and you receive the president, which basically gives you additional armor, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, I really can't see, Rise of Nations is decided in big battles most of the time. And if you're the guy that's gone for, a longer term strategy and you're basically foregoing the ability of having that extra 2 attack on your cavalry and cheaper cavalry as well, which means you've probably got 20% less heavy cavalry in your army. yeah, it's got to be like an industrial age rush, I guess, for it to
That's
be
right.
probably
And I
worthwhile.
don't think anybody ever does an industrial age rush. Not
Yeah,
even it's
is
not even
that
possible. If because if you are planning for industrial age rush, then you won't reach industrial age. You are going to be dead before that.
well? That's it. Like, I mean, is that something in the metagame for standard? Because I obviously haven't played enough standard to really explore it. I know Enlightenment Age Rush is a thing, to a degree, but
Hmm.
I feel like maybe that's that next step is that if you have a build order and a strategy in place to go president and get your industrial tanks out early, yeah, I don't know.
Well, the
Yeah,
problem
maybe that's a
problem is the player. It takes about 20 minutes at least, 20 to 21 minutes. If you have the best boom possible, that's how long you need to reach industrial age. And if you're going for that kind of boom, then it's very likely that you will be dead before that because your opponent will not let you reach the industrial.
yeah, very true.
Anyway,
It's kind of
military
like
wise, highest killed by Slorex, and all of them, all the rest were fine. So you see, Old Cat and Marco was actually doing good. They had equal kills. Just if Old Cat raided Marco a lot, and if he could actually use that extra commerce cap, because I saw that his whole game, his commerce was below 200, while his cap allowed him to be at 250.
yeah, exactly. I mean, if you had gone despot, aside from the healing side of it and being able to bribe units, that's the one thing I'd say about Senator is handy if you're going for a strategy kind of like what Mouse would do,
Hmm.
which is really early Senate, spend that first 100 metal on getting your Senator out almost instantly, and then just using it to bribe the horse archers and heavy cavalry that come. That's probably the one time that you'd want to use it for defensive purposes. But yeah, aside from that, if it's purely for the economy side, I think despot every time.
Oh yeah. So we are ready for the second game, and this is a do or die game for PLA2.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've loaded it from my end, so I'm ready to go. Just let me know when you want to start.
So let's go. 3, 2, 1. I see amazing nations for the GAT team this time. And okayish nation. Old Cat is British. British is tricky to tricky to guess because they can if you boom really well with British, then they're going to kill any other nation. But the problem is not a lot of times you're going to be just allowed to boom. You'll have to make way for that. But it's also easier to defend British because of the free archers that you get from barracks and the free upgrades.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like British, they're also good to defend if you're holding a city and you've got troops behind. Just the extra range from the archers means that you can park them behind and get them dug into the ground there. And yeah, it just makes it a lot harder to take.
Oh yeah. Hey, Sam, are you IB quick shot? Because anyway, we played in the morning. Nice to see you, man. We actually, Akron, we actually have a good number of players playing Rise of Nations through the Windows Store. I always used to underestimate the Windows Store players because the Windows Store RON isn't that good. But maybe they have added some patches now because it looks like there are some really decent Nomad players in playing that Xbox Windows Store version.
Yeah, very nice. And I used to always think that, maybe how do you play Rise of Nations using an Xbox controller? But obviously, that's not the case. It's just basically the same as Steam, except the Windows Store, I believe. So,
Oh yeah, that
yeah,
is.
it's actually really cool. And I mean, when the patch first came out that integrated the Windows Store, we all kind of thought, it was pretty useless patch. But maybe it's starting to show dividends now, having a bit more exposure. It's got two different sources of people to play, and yeah, just a bigger community is always good.
Oh yeah, it is. So Iroquois and Aztecs from the GAT team both of these nations are in my top 3 nations list. As me and Proteus were talking about it yesterday. You know what's so funny here? Slorex has put this barracks in a place where his city could have been. I hope he gets enough border push from this civic that he can build a city right here. Else he'll have to build somewhere far behind and he's going to regret that.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's done the right thing, though. I think he's left himself enough space there. I think once that border pushes out, he'll have plenty of space to plonk his city.
Also,
Almost
yeah.
in the perfect
Well, yeah,
position. I
you're
think.
right. You're right. He can put it there. So nope, that's a good planning.
Yeah, and I mean, just one comment too is that I feel like Gad's strategy is quite raid centric. They're very aggressive. They both went despot in the last game, and they've almost like the Ron gods have given them the two perfect nations for their style because having Aztecs and Iroquois, like I feel like they couldn't have got anything better for the way that they like to play. And you can see that it looks like some really good Iroquois raids here from Slowrex. He's gone for the quick military, which is always good with this nation. And he almost could have caught that market out if he wanted to, which just shows how quickly he's got there. He's raiding Marsnor's woodline there, and yeah, this is already going to put the momentum most likely in Gad's favor just in this early game.
That's right. And the funny thing is both the players are against the same opponents as last time. Iroquois versus Athens versus Greeks. I have to say it's mostly the Greeks who come out. Mostly the Iroquois that come out as winners. The only nation matchup against Iroquois that can possibly win against them are Indians and Lakota. Those are the two random nations that Rise of Nations throws against Iroquois. But Greeks, it's going to be very difficult for the Greek player to win, especially because the Greek special unit is the heavy cavalry, and the Iroquois special unit is those heavy infantry, and those heavy infantry are fast. So they, while I don't think they're as fast as the heavy cavalry, but they can still prevent a lot of raids. And raiding with the heavy cavalry is a Greek thing.
Yeah, I mean that's it. Like, I mean, the whole point of Greeks' heavy cavalry is that they're so fast that they're really hard to chase down. But I mean, when you've got your own fast heavy infantry, just tag team them, I guess, and chasing after them as they try and raid. Like it's almost like the perfect inverted commas counter to him, I guess. So yeah, it's definitely a bit of a tough draw for Mars, and he is definitely feeling the pressure of his early raid. I mean, his economy took a massive hit just while he was waiting for his racks to get finished there. And I feel like it hasn't really impacted on Slowrex too much. He's still got his bowman alive, but he does look like he lost his spearman there.
Oh yeah, and but still, Slowrex is doing perfectly fine. He's aging with almost a perfect economy 100. Meanwhile, this side, Nor is putting down farms right now. He could age, but it will take him some time to reach that 100 food income. A good thing he has a barracks, so he can still survive for some time. But I'm guessing this caravan route is going to be raided.
Yeah, no, it does look like that. That's probably going to be the case. As far as the rares go here, I mean, it's hard to say exactly who's got the clear advantage just in the way that the map's laid out. But I mean, the one that stands out is you've got PLA, you've got Sugar quite well protected there. A nice second city by Nor, which is kind of, shielding that and protecting it. But then you've got Pappy, I guess, for the Gad guys. Is there any other kind of OP rares out on the map here? We've got Silver for Gad as well.
Well, there's Dye and Gems. I don't know if these guys know about it. No, Gems is not known yet.
Yeah, Gems would definitely come in handy if those guys had scouted.
Oh yeah, so I feel Gems is the only rare that they don't know about. So far, against Aztecs and British, who would you pick if you had to?
Look, I mean, I know that obviously you'd go with Aztecs because they're your top three. But as for me personally, I'd probably go with Aztecs because you can get to gunpowder so much quicker in standard. And, once Aztecs get to gunpowder, I feel like they're really coming to themselves. But yeah, I mean, so my answer would be Aztecs, but I don't think it's a huge gap. I don't think Aztecs would be my top three. And I don't know who would replace them, but yeah, that's just my thoughts.
All right, so let's see. Oh yeah, Silver here. Did you mention Silver? Silver Furs. Gad guys have got better rares this time. Silver Furs, horses. What else? Pappy here. I like those rares.
Yeah, it does look like, at least at the moment, there's not a lot of merchants which are being produced. There's only 2 merchants for the Gad guys each at this point in time, and I'm sure they'll build more as the game goes on. But it does look like, they're not taking full advantage of all the rares they could just yet, given the way that their tech order has gone. I mean, you've got Slowrex going for, pretty standard, but horse archer pressure coming out of his cavalry, out of his stable here, and you've also got the same with Marco. So these guys definitely know that kind of meta game of putting on early pressure out of their stable and kind of booming on the back of it.
Oh yeah, for sure. So there's a horse archer coming from Marco, and horse archers are super weak against these longbowmen. I don't even think you can run away with the horse archer because they fire super fast. They have higher range. These longbowmen can tear down a horse archer the moment they see it.
Oh, it looks like Nora's getting his revenge here on the third city of Slowrex. That city was getting constructed, but he's had a couple of units there
Ooh,
too.
that was good. That was good, actually. Yep. And I'll take back what I said. So Marco is actually raiding fine. He has two almost dead villagers, but none of them dead, so he's not receiving any plunder.
Yeah,
But
no, exactly.
that bison merchant is going to be fed to the Aztec lords or Aztec gods.
That's it. I mean, let's assume that merchant is definitely going down. He's running away though. Oh, he might actually survive. Oh no, 33rd.
Oh, last hit. That last hit.
Yeah.
I mean, the life of merchants are so difficult, man. These guys don't even have anything to arm themselves, and they're supposed to stand in neutral territories far away from home, just expecting not to die. It's not the best job.
No, absolutely not. And look at how close these cities are. This is going to turn into a real kind of battle line here, assuming that both these cities do go up. There's a real tussle here between the two, trying to deny the other cities, but it looks like Slowrex has enough light cavalry out now that he can well and truly, counter the slingers and the archers. So.
Oh yeah, and only if Nor had some more units, he could completely deny this city. But now, this city is going to be here, and Slowrex is going to have this nice chunk of woodcutter camp here. So in the end, he did not lose a lot because he never had to delete the city, unlike Nor, who had to delete his city last game.
Yeah, that's really nice placement there by. I feel like Slowrex has got the edge as far as the city placement goes because he's basically taken that control. Their border goes straight up the middle there, and he's going to be able to basically do the same as what happened in the last game and team up with Marco if he needs to.
Oh yeah. I see a city behind for Marco. I like this decision because that city is going to keep both the woodcutter camp and the mine close to it. Also, they will be in the economic radius. Actually, it might even get this big +8 mountain in the radius. And those +8 mountains are great. Maybe when it becomes a large city, it will have it in its radius. So this is a great position for the third city. I love it from Marco.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think once you get the smelter down, you'll get the smelter effects on both mines at the same time. So he's going to be able to get as much metal income as he wants to, and at the same time he's doing an ambush attack here.
Oh yeah, that raid could do some serious damage.
Yeah, just remember he's Aztec, so every kill he gets is massive.
And I see he's trying to bribe. So in this condition, the Senator is an amazing unit because not only the Senator, it drives away units, but it also makes it very difficult to have army raids just because you may end up losing one of your units to this kind of raid. And you see, every unit that Senator chases is actually not doing anything. So this light infantry is just running away right now. Meanwhile, the other units for Old Cat can clear up the mess. I really like that part about Senator. Even if he did not manage to bribe it, it actually rendered it useless.
Yeah, honestly, if that was a boxing match for that raid and I had to award a point to one player, I'd give it to Old Cat there because his defense was actually pretty decent.
That was.
Yeah, he denied Marco getting really. I think he only got about 2 kills there. And it could have been a lot worse. So that tower finishing was perfect timing, and nice bribe there by the Senator, kind of forcing that other light infantry away. Yeah,
that was really good. And it, while Marco is still fine, I see his ego, nothing to worry about. But he could have got a better exchange. Yeah, it looks like it also looks like Mars is playing quite well. I mean, the PLA guys are doing well at the moment. Given I thought that they were slightly behind on the way that the game started out. I mean, there's some nice kind of raiding going on, nice pressure. It looks like Mars is getting his siege workshop up, so
he's going to start to try and, probably, and that barracks is a bit vulnerable there. It probably can get sieged if he can get a bit of stability and get these units, on the back foot. At the moment, he's running away, trying to.
That was a bad exchange for Nor. He lost so many units.
Yeah, a bit careless there. I mean, just got to be careful. You can't go that far out, and those light horses are just going to chase you down and get kills left, right, and center.
Yeah, that is right. That is right. And this is a very interesting thing about Iroquois. While the game bug does not allow them to get ambushed in the opponent territory, but the fact that their own units are ambushed in their friendly territory, it makes it super hard to raid Iroquois. You don't know when something is going to pop out of nowhere whenever you send a raiding unit.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And you just never know, and that gives you doubt and uncertainty. And when you're doubtful and when you're uncertain, generally you play bad. So that's why I hate playing against Iroquois. But I love playing as Iroquois.
And you see, they also heal in friendly territory, so that's a big bonus because you don't need the Senator's ability anymore, since the healing is already being done by the civilization's innate ability. By the way, we got Slorex himself and Dave in the chat. Hey guys, how are you doing? Buzz, I cannot stream with 1080p because YouTube has some trouble with my streams. Whenever I stream with 1080p, there is a lot of lag, and it's only with YouTube. When I stream only on Twitch, I can stream perfectly with 1080p 60 fps, but YouTube won't allow me. And let me know if it affects your game quality, because when I try to watch some of my own streams, it usually works fine.
Yeah, no, I think 1080p would be nice, but yeah, at the end of the day, we all want to watch a smooth stream, and that's the #1 priority here. So I think, yeah, it's just one of those things that YouTube needs to fix more than anything. And just to bring your attention to this raid at the top here by Marco, which I can see that this is going to be potentially a massive income boost for the Aztec player if he can get some nice kills, perhaps an ambush. No, he's going for the force march, but I like it still.
Yep, and that is going to hurt a lot for Old Cat, because Old Cat does not have a tower here. This is the time when towers are much needed. He's going to eat all those units for breakfast.
Honestly, if I was Old Cat right now, I would just kill them. To just delete them all.
Delete them all.
This is not a good time to be giving 45 of whatever Marco doesn't have the most of at any one point. He's microing them, he's trying to run away, but that's a temporary solution here. I don't think they're going to be able to do that forever.
And that's actually, if Old Cat had the militia upgrade, then he could turn them into militia that would elongate their lives and then send them to one of the cities. By the way, he is saving those. It's not completely bad for him. Old Cat still has 4 villagers left.
And I think, we've just learned something. That is, trust in Old Cat. There's a method to the madness, and he did manage to get them away there. So that's really well done. But I think when you're playing against Aztecs and you're getting close to age 4, that is, I guess, when, not that I play much MOBA games, but in Dota and games like that where you need to deny the creeps and deny the gold, I feel like that's kind of what you've got to do with your units. And just anytime Aztecs is going to kill one of your units, try and get the last kill on them. Delete your own unit if you have to, because in times like that, that's where it can make the difference.
Oh yeah, definitely. I see Marco has aged, and once the Aztec player ages, it's Old Cat should be concerned right now. I have no idea why he would get Hanging Gardens. I mean, he's already building it for sure, but against Aztecs, he does not even have a castle yet. So without that castle, it's going to be horrible to defend that.
Yeah, he is going to need to make sure he gets the gunpowder himself fairly quickly. You can't wait too long because, once Aztec starts pressuring with a full gunpowder army, he's starting to build additional barracks now. He just got, I believe, 2 or 3 free units there when he finished that barracks. So The one thing that he has, that might delay Marco here is that he doesn't have a castle. He doesn't have a fort yet, which means that his arm is going to be a little while away.
But that's the same for Old Cat, isn't it? Old Cat doesn't have a fort either.
Yeah, it's both players don't have a fort, so I guess it's even parity for the time being.
Oh yeah, it is. And on the other side, I completely forgot about the other side because there was not much happening. Slorex and Nor, I feel they're doing fine, both of them. Nor has a slightly better economy.
Yeah, it looks like Slorex has actually gone for Science 4, probably before he aged too. So he's going for a faster Enlightenment age by the looks of it, if this game continues at the current pace. But but I do think that if I was in Marco's position right now, I'd be definitely making sure that you start to get that fort built fairly soon here, because if he can get a timing attack, research his military 4, and then get his get his monarchy, which he is researching right now, then that's the perfect time to attack. And obviously when you got that bonus advantage and the bonus armor over Old Cat here.
Oh yeah, dude. So I see Nor actually has a better army than Slorex, and the way I see it, Slorex is planning for an Enlightenment age attack. If you would never want to let the Iroquois player reach Enlightenment age. While the Iroquois is strong in 4 as well, but in Enlightenment age, those commandos, those Okwari scouts, they're just too difficult to handle, man. Each scout can take down a single heavy cavalry. It's just too much to take.
Yeah, I mean, that is absolutely insane. Obviously, being primarily a Nomad player, I haven't seen too many games go to Enlightenment or Industrial, but can you just let me know, or let everyone who's watching know, those special units, obviously they come in age 5 and they're so good because you can just snipe units left, right and center. But once you get to age 6, can all the other nations do the exact same thing, or is there still an advantage?
Oh no. Everybody can do in the rest of the ages, but those Okwari snipers, they get 1500 craft, while the regular commando has 1000 craft. So craft is the ability, it's like the energy. So a single snipe takes 1000 craft. So when you start the snipe, the craft goes, like you lose 1000 craft, but you start regenerating it. So for the Okwari to be able to use his ability again, he just needs 500 more because he has a reserve of 1500, right? So they can reuse their snipe abilities much more frequently than the commandos in 8.6. So they're actually better than 8.6 commandos.
Yeah, wow. Okay, well that kind of explains why you don't want to let Slorex get to age 5 here. Maybe that's why Slorex has gone for that tech choice to try and get there faster. And he's a really nice raid too with his Dragoon.
That's nice raid. That's nice raids, man. I have no idea how could Nor not tower this trading route, because this is obvious that it's going to get raided at some point. By the way, I have high hopes from this attack from Mars, but if there's one reason why he might lose this battle, it's because of monarchy. He does not have monarch. He has a senator. It's just not a good idea. While I see Slorex is spamming units, not bad. But he's
just bring your attention to Marco. Sorry, it looks like Marco's charging.
Yes.
This could be huge.
This could be huge, and I like what Marco did. Instead of attacking head-on against those entrenched units, he actually went sideways. In the chat, we've got Dave here, and always be positive, which is Tiger. Hey guys, welcome to the chat. Sam is asking, who is your favorite team? Ron, you want to answer that?
My favorite team?
Yeah.
As far as nations go?
Oh no, favorite team in this tournament.
Oh, in the tournament? Oh, AZ, of course, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's my number one.
You mean AZ too?
AZ too, yeah, probably. They're pretty cool and pretty handsome as well. But no, I'd have to say, look, as far as favorites go, I'm pretty excited to... it's a few different good teams, but yeah, I'm excited to see both how Dave goes with Sims. So I feel like Dave's classically, allegedly one of the best standard players there is. We haven't really seen him in the tournament yet, but I feel like Sims is a bit of an unknown, so it's going to balance out a bit. And then I want to see how you and Amaya go as well. Can't wait to see that. It's going to be fascinating because I learned my first, Rise of Nations lessons reading from Amaya's blog. So let's see if he's still got it.
Oh yeah, let's see. It looks like Slorex is going to hold on his own. Well, initially I thought Marco may have to come here, but no, Marco is in a he's on a completely different level right now. All that Aztec fodder, all that like British fodder that he was given, he is aging, and there's nothing old cat can do about it right now.
Yeah, old cat just threw out the 11 taunt, need a little help, and I feel like this is the point where Aztecs get scary. And the fact is, interestingly, Marco still doesn't have a castle. He still hasn't upgraded any of his armor, but he has got the Monarch there, so that's helping a bit.
Well, he's getting it at the capital right now, but he doesn't need it anymore.
Yeah, I mean, that's just going to be the icing on the cake here. Once he gets that armor, it's going to be pretty much mission impossible to try and take out that Aztec army, especially when Marco has just hit, Enlightenment Age.
Oh yeah. And this has been a common mistake from the PLA team. They have the extra commerce cap, but they don't use it. I'm talking about Nor here. He has got a commerce cap of 250, and he's not using that compared to Slorex, who has a commerce cap of 200, and he's there. He's almost there.
Yeah, exactly. He's getting there, and you just need to be. Not that it's easy to do, but you just need to be disciplined on getting those, the smelters and your granaries in each city, and then just upgrading them. Because once you do, suddenly 250 resources is not that hard to get.
Oh yeah. Ooh. And at this point, I feel Slorex is going to be aging. You know why Mars lost that that exchange? He thought he would just get Monarchy right before going into the attack. But Monarchy does more than just providing attack. It provides you faster production of cavalry, cheaper production of cavalry. So if he had the Monarchy to start with, he would have a lot bigger army when he went on that initial attack. And that initial attack was his best chance at killing Slorex. Right now, the odds have been even.
Yeah, that's it. I mean,
difficult.
I feel like if you're in that position where you really want to do a timing attack after you get Monarchy, you should save up and basically build an extra stable, so you've got either 2 or 3. Bank up all your metal and gold, and then just infinite queue. Yeah, sorry. Do you want to pause? Yep. Yeah, no worries.
Guys.
What's Doggy's name again? I'm just looking in the chat to see what's going on. Marco was happy when he saw the hanging gardens. The dog is back in the pound. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's back back in the room where it can't disturb me.
Nice.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, ready when you are. So yeah, you go. Yep. Okay.
Oh, right now, I also feel that hanging gardens should have been put somewhere more safe. That hanging gardens is going down, man.
I can't see a lot of reasons to put it there unless he was worried about getting bombarded maybe from behind. I guess he built it there on the theory that he still has Manchester.
Maybe
in fairness, it doesn't look as good now.
He could still build it behind Windsor, like somewhere here. I don't think that would have been difficult.
Yeah, no, that is true. But I guess maybe if he had built it behind there to the left of his university, he might have been worried about the cannons coming up from the bottom here.
Okay, I see your concern.
Yeah, I'm just trying to help him out here. Oh, it looks like Mars has taken that city though.
Whoa! That is awesome. Did not expect that. So, and that was a great call by Slorex. Instead of fighting for that city, he left. He's going to age and he's going to come back. That is the that's one thing that separates the pros from higher inters. They know the pros know which battles to take and which not to take. I also like how Mars was so quick to react to that. He is going to help Old Cat right away.
Yeah, he knows that he has to basically try and bail his ally out here. And yeah, really, really great play by Slow Rex. I think that's, like you said, that's what separates, the good players from the great. They know when to turn around and evacuate your troops, upgrade them, and then go back with your full power. Slow Rex has got all of his armors. He's got all his ducks lined up in a row. He's got his Monarch. And more importantly, he's got his Super Saiyan, what are they called? The Okwaris, the snipers. And mostly for our benefit, I can't wait to see these snipers come out and just start tearing it up.
Yeah, I actually want these snipers to go to Athens and take that capital. Oh yeah, did I tell you, man? Those are nice. Those are really nice snipers. Like, you can sabotage buildings. The earliest unit to sabotage a building is the Iroquois unit.
Oh right, so I didn't realize that they could actually do commando, everything that a commando can do, which is like including sabotage. So, wow, that's really cool and really
man. I think 4 or 5 of these could easily take a city by themselves.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep an eye on them. So he's taking back his initial third now, and yeah, obviously in this game it's looking really, really dire. Given Marco's got a massive army here, even if they tried to 2v1 Marco, who knows if it would actually be enough, given his Aztecs. But
I also feel maybe Norse should have gone for Marco's capital. I mean, of course, there's a castle there, but he doesn't know that, and he should have gone for the capital because that would be more effective at bringing Marco back.
Yeah, exactly. At least that would force Marco to make a decision. He either turns around and goes all the way back, or he gets his ally to go there, or he just charges from then and tries to go into a capital race.
Because it's obvious that Nor and Cat, even together, they are not going to beat Marco's army, so they needed a distraction.
Yeah, exactly. If it's not going to obviously work if you go head on here, we're about to find out. Actually, it looks like there is going to be an engagement here. A decent number of those specialized Greek heavy cavalry.
Look at those! Look at those Okwaris in action.
Oh my God!
The Okwaris almost reduced city. That's maybe 2 more hits and it's out.
Yeah, wow, that was cool. Yeah, large city sabotage by Okwari. That's what we came to see.
YouTube video.
I've got a question. Can you sabotage fortresses as well?
Oh, you can sabotage anything possible. You could sabotage farms. Don't know why you would do that, but
next minute he's just sabotaging all the farms, just the left, right, and center. This is just because I can. So.
Oh, and that is done. That city is taken, man. I love these. I love these units. You don't even need to have siege with Iroquois. That's why I never let them live past H4.
Oh, exactly right. I mean, who needs the cannons when you can just get the old Okwaris in there and just planting bombs left, right, and center? Wow, GG. That is officially over, and I guess that means that we have to have a minute's silence for PLA2 and specifically for Old Cat.
Oh yeah.
But more importantly, congratulations to Gad. Very well played, and they go through to the Super 16. What do you think?
So man, I am excited. At the same time, I'm also sad for the PLA2 team to not make it, because PLA had a very good participation. We had 4 teams from PLA. 4 teams participating, but only one of the teams is going to make it to Super 16. All 3 teams. One team forfeit. The other team, one of PLA4, if you're looking at the screen, it was extremely unlucky because they got paired up with the 2 of the best teams in the group stages. So that was horrible for PLA4. They had to fight against AS and EL3. So I don't mind them just forfeiting. I don't think they had any chance there. PLA3 could not play due to unavailability, and PLA2, who was I would say a pretty strong team, just could not win anymore.
Yeah, no, PLA2, they definitely they did themselves proud. They put up great fights. Came down to a sudden death against GAD, and I mean this GAD team, like you have to say, like based on the evidence, they're strong, they're creative. They've obviously got a wealth of experience. I don't know how many years they've been playing Ron for, but I suspect there might be since the mid 2000s by the looks of it. So it's going to be fascinating to see who they come up against in the Super 16. But I suspect I'd definitely be putting them as the potentials to make it all the way to potentially the quarters, semis, or even the finals.
Yeah, that's right. They got excellent teamwork for sure. And just pointing out, one of the reasons why PLA lost, if they're watching this game, it's their ruin bonuses, 150 and 300. And if you remember, last time it was the same, 500 for both the GAD guys and sub 300 for the PLA team. This is why the GAD guys always had a head start. So of course they did well in the beginning. And as we said in the beginning, Aztecs and Iroquois are already super strong against Greeks and British. Combine that with the ruin bonus, well, it's just becomes too difficult. It's like an uphill battle for PLA.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I guess when you break it down, that's really at its most simple, basic core kind of analysis is just the simple ruin scouting in the beginning may have cost PLA. And I guess just in case anyone's watching and they want to play a bit of standard and get their skill level up a bit, is there any advice that you can give as far as how many scouts should people be using, and what type of YouTube videos should they be watching to improve their early game scouting?
Oh yeah, so we got a nice we have this channel, Rise of Patience. There are tutorial videos there. You can watch some of those videos for help. There is a scouting video that Kron made a few days back, and that's a great guide to scouting as well. It's I think it's a Nomad specific scouting video, but it has great hotkeys that you can use to improve your gameplay. And about the question for number of scouts, I think it depends on the number of players in the game. If you are playing a 2 versus 2, you want to have at least 3 scouts, 3 villagers scouting apart from your scout. If there are 3 versus 3, then you don't want to send as many scouts, just because there are more players scouting and you're more likely to run into each other. So I would say have at least 2, regardless of whatever the game you're playing. And if there are fewer players on the map, increase the number of scouts. So that's why you would see the highest number of scouts in 1v1 games, because you're on your own. And you have to get as many ruins as possible.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I'm just given that obviously GAD guys did so well, I'm just having a quick look at the replay right now to see how many they were scouting with. So just to give you an idea, so Slowrex had at least 2 citizens out scouting it the whole time, in addition to his scout, and then later on he scouts with 3, same as Marco. So I think, like you said, that sweet spot is at least a minimum of 2. I think I've seen you scouting with 4 or 5 before. So I guess as many as you're comfortable with, as long as you get the ruins, it pays off. So
that's right. Yeah, as long as you can get ruins and keep your villager production up, it's all right. So here we have the final result. We got GAD making it to the Super 16 with Lat1 in the same group. And it's funny that GAD and Lat1 did play initially. The GAD one gave them a tough fight, 1-2. But if you remember, that was the time when the GADs were criticized for their bad government choice in H4. They were going for president, and that's the reason why they lost against Lat1 in the 3rd game. And they have definitely improved on that. I would love to see GAD and Lat play again in Super 16. Would be funny, right? If we are doing it randomly, but it's still possible for them to come back together.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, GAD and Lat, there's no reason that they'd be separated. I mean, essentially, I guess it's to be finally confirmed, but I think the talk was that the only separation in the Super 6 means that, there's a lot of randomness that can go on there. Any 2 teams could end up playing against each other. And so, like we might see the ultimate grudge match. Can you imagine a best of 5 between GAD and Lat?
Oh yeah, that would be like, so you see, this is something that's never possible in a single elimination game because single eliminations don't give you that choice. But with the way this tournament has been structured, a group stage followed by a single elimination, that means we can have the same guys coming back again. By the way, Mario, Slowrex, if you are up for a quick post-game interview, please message me on Steam. I am online on Steam, and we can set you up quickly. We'll be here 5 more minutes waiting for a response if you are interested.
Yeah, it'd be cool to hear from them if we can on pretty short notice. But yeah, I mean that's always I personally think it's the funnest part of the game. Is hearing like the one that stands out for me was when we heard from Zen Mechanics in Nomadium. That will go down in history as my favorite interview ever.
Oh yeah, definitely. Zen Mechanics is the coolest guy.
Zen is so cool. I really like his approach to the answers he gave and just his thoughts. He's just it was fascinating. So I think the more we hear from the players behind the actual games, the more interesting it is for everyone following. So yeah, it'd be great if the GAD guys can jump on for an interview. But if it's not possible on short notice, I'm sure we'll hear from all the players at some point during the Super 16.
Yeah, and this is going to be the first. If Slorex is here, it will be the first post game interview for the group stages. We have not had those at all because of the odd timings. We hardly have players online at the same time as we are casting it, but this is a very lucky moment for us. So yeah, we'll be here 5 more minutes, guys, and especially Slorex or Marco if you're watching this, if you're up for it. Else that's it for the stream today. 2-0 score, well played by GAD. If you want to wait for 5 minutes just for the interview, well, yeah, it's worth waiting.
Yeah, maybe just leave the stream going for a little bit, just in case we can get something to you. Otherwise, it's been a pleasure casting this game. Congratulations again to GAD, and commiserations to PLA too. But they've definitely done themselves proud, and can't wait to see how the final group stages play out. In particular, group number 4, which I think will be an exciting one. And then I think the Super 16 can't be too far away now.
Oh no, it can't be. And this is the first group again. Group 5 is the first group to officially finish all the games, because the other groups, they have not finished all the games, or they had people dropping out or forfeiting. That's why the matches were concluded. But Group 5 is the fastest group to have finished all the possible games. I want to congratulate them, and to all the players who put in efforts, who scheduled on time and did not delay unnecessarily. Yeah,
exactly. Well done. Everyone's been really great. Discord's been working quite well too. You've had people scheduling games from across the world, China, all the way through to Latin America. So, yeah, I've been really impressed. Everyone's been great. Yeah, it looks like if Marco or Slorex are out there, make sure you let us know ASAP. Otherwise, yeah, we may have to leave it.
Yes, that's right. Hey Serge, yeah, you were banned because you broke the rules. PLA3 forfeit in your group. Actually, Serge broke so many rules that I could have a list of things that all the rules he broke. First, smurfing was not allowed. You were on a different ID than what you registered, and your ally was somebody else, and the trash talk, of course. So it's fine, man. Nothing personal against you. Next tournament, we can see you again with less trash talk and more respect for the opponents. Yeah,
I think that was there was a bit of a list of rule violations there that it made it a bit hard otherwise. But obviously Serge is a great player, and obviously Serge, we'd love to see you in the next tournament. But yeah, we've got to obviously we've got rules in place for a reason, and that's the way these things pan out. Okay, that's fine. As long as you register as another guy, you can be another guy for the whole tournament. So yeah, that's also a tip for everybody. If you want to smurf, register as the smurf. Yeah, that's next level. But no, look, I think overall though, if we look at the Super 16, do we have a list of who's already in the Super 16 so far? Is that something that we might be able to quickly pull up?
Yep. So Super 16. Oh, so you want to have a list of everybody who's made it to Super 16? So I still don't have the list there because because we have not done the draws. But if you want to check out the names of the players so far in Group 1,
Yep.
AS and EL3 have made it. Congratulations to them. T Kings and KTS both have made it to Group 2. Group 2 has been the shortest group ever because no games were played yet. One team banned, one team forfeit. So both of them are in the Super 16. The thing is, they still are required to play a game because we want to know who's first and who's second from the group. In Group 3, LAT3 made it with a nice 2-0 victories. Then we got PLA1 from Group 4. Of course, in your group, this again another strong team. PLA1, AS, and EL3 are probably the strongest teams in the group. But we never know. There have been immense improvements in the other team, including LAT1 and GAD. I want to see these guys. Group 5, we just saw GAD proceed, and LAT1 has already proceeded. In Group 6, AL1 so far has proceeded, and we're waiting for this game to happen. LAT2 versus AZ3. One of them is going to make it. By the way, just pointing out, Kron's team itself is fighting it out for the Super 16. AZ1 and AZ2. AZ2 in Kron's team, and AZ1 is supposed to be the AZ captain team. So are you nervous for that?
Oh, look, it's always a bit nervous when you come up against the guy that recruited me into the clan in the first place, being the legend himself, Young One. So I don't think any team, it doesn't matter how rusty Young might be, and how, you could argue that his ally might not be as good as some other players that it could be. But, I mean, yeah, Young and Mash, you can never write them off. And, you saw what he did in that first game against the In guys. So, yeah, look, definitely any game, you got to treat it seriously. And, me and Demon have practiced a little bit, but it's still going to be, a nice and probably a close game too.
Oh yeah, and Slorex is up for the interview, guys. If you're watching still, please stay. We are trying to connect with him. Just hold on a minute.
okay, no problem.
Hey guys, we're here around me and Slorex, Mario. Mario, can you come to a place where there's more sunlight?
Yeah, I'm checking it right now. Okay, let's try here.
All
I
right,
think
yeah,
it will
that's
be okay.
that's better.
Yeah, I mean, in my room, so it's not much light here.
All right, so first, congratulations to you and your team for for winning against PLA2. Um,
Thank you, thank you.
I have one question. Who did you find more? Who would you find stronger, PLA2 or Lat1?
Well, definitely Latvian. Although we were uh, much luckier with nations against against Lat. I know I was Chinese in second game. I was pretty slow with them, and in second, Korea against. Lakota, and I tried to rush his cab, but he scouted me. I was very unfortunate with that. He scouted that, and when I got to his first city, he already had a tower there, and his army was there, and it was a big failure. But in first game, Aztecs against China, I rocked. I had a lot of gold. That was excellent. I managed to raid well and get pretty fast to H4. Then I spammed light infantry, free from barracks, and simply overrun him. He put his fort before his capital, and he left his second city undefended. And I went totally there, sieged it, and plus with the army. So I practically halved his economy. And so the first game was pretty good, But
I remember. I remember.
was disaster.
We were talking about Lat being totally careless there.
Yes,
that was really a nice game, man. I feel I also felt so. Yeah, did you guys pick you guys picked president, and you must have watched and received the criticism for that. Did you guys change that, or was there any reason for going president in those games?
Well, I unfortunately I didn't have the time to check out that stream, but in my general opinion, a lot of people does senator, but we are all old school players. We practically. And Marco especially, he almost never does senator. He always goes despot because he likes to play very aggressively. Me, on the other hand, it depends about the situation. If I have aggressive nation, I will go despot. If I have defensive or, well, now it's Sahara, but depending about the map also, if it's lakes, then we'll probably senator and things like that. But generally, I prefer despot.
Oh, I mean the president and monarchy.
Yes, but the second president or monarchy, I very rarely go with president. Almost exclusively monarchy. It's well, practically if I'm full defending, if the opponent is stronger, then I go president. I go full economic. But if I attack, I have aggressive nation, it's monarchy.
All right.
So Mario, I was just wondering if we could just take it back for a moment. Do you mind just telling us a bit about your background? First of all, like your age, where you live, what you do for a living, and how long you've been playing Rise of Nations for?
Well, I'm 33 years old. I live on the country. Lost my earphone. I live on a country, a village, and in Croatia. It's a small country, about 4.5 million people, Middle Europe, and we started playing grown about 2004 year. We did first game was Age of Nations, then for a brief time Red Alert, and then Roan. I think it was the time when Thrones and Patriots came out. We were in high school, we were friends. It was me, God Marco, God Ren, and God Began and Nicola, and we played. Then the more was active, there are plenty of tournaments, and I was I never played in Ron because I was not good enough. Marco was the best, Ren was second, and I was third. I was stronger than Begadin, but I was bad team player. Begadin was better team player, so he get to play because more was 3 versus 3, and there were 4 of us. So I got hanged out there. And those were fun times for us. We had school obligations, but we played a lot. And then later they transferred to Company of Heroes and started playing that. But I had 2 week PC, so I practically played Ron all that time until it got on Steam. Then I got very disappointed. I thought it would be great. Many people, they would improve it. But when Ron came, I bought it the first day it came out. Paid full 20 euros for it and didn't regret it, but it was bugged like hell. It was like 2 out of 3 games were out of sync. You would get 7 defeats. It was horrible. And unfortunately, the opposite happened. The Steam killed Ron for me. So I played it a bit and then didn't play it for like several months or 6 months or so, but now that thanks to you guys who are trying to revive it, and thanks to this tournament, I got back to it. I persuaded Marco to get back in so we could play, and I think we are having a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, that's good to know. And yeah, so did you tell us what do you do in personal life? Like, what's your profession?
Well, I finished gymnasium, and now I'm in college.
Oh, nice. That's nice, man.
Yeah, I'm studying informatics. I'm second year now, and I think I will probably be programming when I finish it.
Oh, that's cool stuff.
Yeah, very nice. And so, Mario, in that last game the last best of 3 series, how did you feel coming into it? Did you feel like PLA was a bit of an unknown, or did you feel like they might give you guys a run for your money?
Well, I saw their first game against Lat, which they lost 2-1, and they seemed pretty strong. Although I'm not sure how the old cat had so much oscillations in his game. He did some well, he did that third one very, very, very badly. And too bad, because of the first game, I was wondering how did they lost. They took Cazador's cap. They had a very good position, and the record was broken. So I learned from you that they lost that game, and I wondered how, because in that time, until the record stopped, they really did have a very, very good position. So me and Marco were very cautious about approaching this, and we were thinking what to do, and well, we were scared not to do some stupid mistakes. Like if I'm annoyed or stressed out, then I tend to do stupid things, like forget to build caravans, so I end up with 1 caravan instead of 3, or forget to build scholars and things like that. For example, in this second game, I made mistake in H4 when I tried to that last battle, which I lost, and then I lose a city. I tried to attack instead of pulling back behind the city and go for full defense and fast 5th age because of quarry. But instead and that's a very big mistake. My micro is bad. When Greek attacked me, I sent my heavy infantry and clicked on one of his heavy cavalry. And for a few seconds there, he pulled back instantly his cavalry, but my heavy infantry continued to persuade him. And his arquebusier killed all my heavy infantry. Then he pulled back his heavy cavalry and massacred my army. And that was horrible. I lost an army because of a stupid decision, stupid mistake, and I lost that city. And in this game, we had the upper hand. It was no big deal. But if we were even, that would kill me, definitely. So I have to watch out for stupid things like that.
Oh yeah. So Well, that's wrong for you. Small mistakes leading up to big consequences.
Yeah, very big ones.
I have one last question from my side. So you are in Super 16 right now. Apart from the top four seeds, which team would you not like to be placed against?
Well, actually, I didn't have time to check out all the records because I'm finishing the second year now, so I have a lot of exams and projects up. But this suggestion you said for a rematch against Lat would be a very interesting game because we won first and we were unlucky with nations in the other two. So if we get a better nations, Rare's a good start, I think that would be a very good way games and very even.
Oh yeah, I'm actually looking forward to that. Maybe I'll rig the system. Bring those two
that
back
would
together.
Be interesting.
All right, Kron, do you have anything?
Yeah, awesome. No, I think the only last thing I was going to quickly ask was in that last game with when you were at Iroquois, and was your aim to try and get to age 5 really fast so that you could use the special units, or was there any particular science behind that?
Well, unfortunately, I tend to play very instinctively. I every now and then check out what are my resources, and since I had Poppy, so science was cheap for me, and I love to research that science. Marco is telling me not to do that, but I love to research that science, especially as moment I get to second age, and he uses that gold instead of science 2 for raids. So I had a lot of gold, I had knowledge, I researched science because it makes everything cheaper, so it seems like a good thing to do. And honestly, I forgot about fifth age until I reached it. Then I remembered, oh shit, I got a quarry, now I'm gonna tear apart that Greek guy. But it was already over because Marco won his side.
Oh yeah.
But yes, for Iroquois, that's a great strategy. You get to age 5, they are well, probably the best nation to have in age 5.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. I think yeah, Iroquois and Indians are just so powerful once you get to that stage of the game. Before
yes, and the Iroquois is the best counter for Indians because elephants in fifth age are brutal, and Iroquois can snipe them out, and so practically they take off the Indians' biggest advantage.
Oh yeah, that is right. That is right.
Yeah, well, I hope we get to see a game where it's Iroquois versus Indians coming up. That'll be
yeah,
cool.
that would be also very good. Yes.
Yeah, awesome. No worries. That's it from me. So,
all right. Thanks a lot, Slorex, for coming to the interview.
Thank you, guys.
Really nice seeing you guys. And everybody in the chat, thanks for watching this. We are going to be wrapping this cast right now.
Yeah, appreciate it. Congratulations again, though.
Congratulations. Yeah.
All right, and all right. Thanks for casting as well, Jason. It's been great.
Yes,
that was nice. Slow.